I know what you're doing, I see it all too clear. I only taste the saline when I kiss away your tears. You really had me going, wishing on a star. The black holes that surround you are heavier by far. I believed in your confusion, so completely torn. It must have been that yesterday was the day that I was born. There's not much to examine.
Yes, you're listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show with your host, Brent.
I say goodbye, 'cause I am barely breathing, and I can't find the air. Don't know who I'm kidding, imagining you care. And I could stand here waiting, a fool for another day. I don't suppose it's worth the price, it's worth the price that I would pay.
Yes, you're listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show. It's Friday night.
Keeps asking, what's it all about? I used to be so certain, and I can't figure out.
We are playing live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show, brought to you by Spreaker.com. We're going coast to coast, north to south, and even, hopefully, in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica and you hear our podcast here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show, definitely give us a shout out here tonight.
And I can't find the air. Don't know who I'm kidding, imagining you care. And I could stand here waiting, a fool for another day. I don't suppose it's worth the price, it's worth the price that I would pay. But I'm thinking it over anyway.
Yes, you're listening to Barely Breathing by Duncan Sheik here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Ooh, that's always a good one. I love that song. Yep, that is a oldie. Not a really an oldie, but more of a kind of alternative, popular 90s, late 90s, mid-90s groove, if you know what I'm talking about. So, you're listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show, here live this Friday night, September the 10th, 2001. And we're playing at 11 o'clock. Coast to coast, north to south, and even in Antarctica. And as if I say, if you're listening to Antarctica, definitely give us a shout out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you're hearing live here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show with your host, Brent. You can also follow us on our social media platform. You can follow us on Twitter at the Cooley Cool 2412, or you can follow me on our TikTok channel. Well, TikTok show, it's the Cooley Cool Show, or you can follow me on YouTube, Cooley Cool Show, where I do my videos from here. My podcasts are automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Brent the Champ. Yes, Brent the Champ, baby. So, let's kind of see what we're going to go with today on this Friday night. For some of you, that it's close to midnight. For some of y'all, might be a couple more hours till midnight. But we're kicking in here live anyway. Brought to you here on the one and only nice Spreaker.com. So today is going to be kind of a little bit talking about vaccines. If you've been paying attention so far in the news, there's been a lot of things going on. The president himself, President Biden, has, I'm not going to say made an ultimatum, but he's fed the hell up with people not getting the vaccines. That's one of our topics we're going to talk about tonight. We'll get in a little detail about that and what, pretty much what I read from ABC News and what they had said and what they were talking about. And also a little talk about what CNN, coming from a major radio personality that has spoken out about the whole vaccine and anti-vaxxers and their areas of, what's going on. And he actually brought the light to a lot of stuff, and I guess he's fed the hell up. And, I guess he is rightfully so as far as the things. And then we're also going to kind of talk about, once again, as I usually like to do a little, space news for you. Let you know what's going on with space, let you know what's terrorizing and will be terrorizing us in the near future. That's going to blow your minds. Maybe blow the entire planet up at this point in time, but we're not going to know because, if it's going to happen in years. And we're not talking about a couple years. We're talking about probably 100 to couple hundreds to more hundreds of years from now. And then maybe, just maybe, we might talk a little bit about aliens and Bigfoot. I'm still looking for anyone who knows anything about the whereabouts of Bigfoot to please comment, let me know, send me a message, try to find out some answers to the Bigfoot and his big brother or younger brother, the abominable snowman that is apparently hiding out in the mountains of the Himalayas. So trying to figure that out and what's going on. And maybe we might talk a little bit about that. But for the most part, I want everybody to have fun on my podcast. And if you're listening, thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate each and every one of my listeners. And I do appreciate each and every one that follows me on my social media platforms. You guys are what keeps this show going and what keeps me liking to do this. But, you guys are awesome. You guys rock. Yes. So, and like I always have to say, if no one said it to you, I hope you're having a great day. Hope everything is going great with you. So, let's get into the show. So, we're going to start off with the main issue, which is the hot topic, the main topic of this segment. If you read the beginning, the title of my podcast segment is titled Mandatory Vaccination. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not followed since we first encountered with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, we knew at some point in time would maybe, just maybe, that if in fact this was going to prolong itself in longevity, and it has already harpened and changed the very way we have lived our lives previously, before the coronavirus, before COVID-19 hit us. I mean, it's and especially when you talk about, they've done lots of research, they've done lots of planning, they've rushed and made well beyond amounts of scientific research to get to where the vaccine is out and can be distributed properly, and it is cost nothing to get vaccinated. Go to your local Walgreens, go to local stores, go to your pharmacy, wherever you go, and go get your vaccine, and has made it very free for you to get. But we still are having quite the issue with so many people who choose not to get it, which I can understand. It's your own choice. You have the right to, as a human being, to not have something put into your body. And the government at this point, with President Biden, has had enough. He's fed up. He's trying to get the American public to understand the severity of the situation, and he wants them to know that there's nothing wrong with getting the vaccine. Now, obviously, people will go date it back to previous videos and his previous speeches and then talk about, oh, he said not this, and he's contradicting himself and this. Look, not everybody's perfect. Not everybody's going to be right on a lot of things. But you have to give credit. This man is trying to get everybody to take the vaccine, along with other political leaders are trying to get the people to take the vaccine. And in my other podcast that I have done, I talked about as far as what it is to get the COVID-19 vaccination shot. And when I had illustrated into supporting my argument for it is, and I'm going to briefly touch on this, is that many people have a very misconception of what the vaccination shot really is. Some people will have you believe, and I'm telling you, some people will have you believe that they're trying to implant people with some type of nano, micro, whatever chip in each and one of us to track our whereabouts, to track where we're going, to be right there, to just follow us and understand what we're doing at any point in time. And that makes absolutely no sense at all, because guess what? They don't even have to implant anything in your body in order to track you where you are, what you're doing, what do you like to do, what's your favorite, things, or your food to drink, and things like that. You already do it enough, and you freely do it all the time. And that's your cell phones. They can track your whereabouts from your cell phone at any given point in time if they were so inclined to do so. And on added note to that, if the government really is tracking you, then you're not a nice person. You're not you're not a contributing person to everyone else. Basically, you're an arch freaking criminal, okay? Let's get that straight. You're an arch criminal if the government has to track you by that means. Because if they're doing that, they really want you. They don't want you to be like, hey, how you doing? I want to talk to you. No. You've done something bad and they're looking for you. Okay? They're looking for you. That's where common sense needs to come into play. You need to put two and two together. You need to understand that. You need to get the gravity of the situation. Another misconception that many people have is that the fact that, they're like, they're trying to euthanize us all by having us take the COVID-19 vaccination shot and secretly downsize or depopulate the world's population. And in doing so, what people would say is, give them a vaccine, give them a vaccination shot they're going to have to take in order for us to accomplish this, because there's too many people on the earth. So, and one of my other key arguments to go against that is that at the beginning of this, when they were giving vaccination shots, they were giving it to the elderly and essential personnel. And the reason why they were giving it to the elderly was because, as we do know, is when you're younger and your immune system is building up. It's building up to get strong, to be able to fight infectious diseases and colds and things like that. And then at the point in time, your body kind of mitigates, and you kind of can figure out when you were planning to probably going to be getting sick. You'd be like, well, I'm usually going to get sick about once or twice or whatever a year. So you can kind of, sometimes in between you might get little sniffles, little sneezes, whatever like that. But you can kind of gauge when you are going to probably be sick or when it's going to come about. So, things like that, and turns it over to be like, they're trying to get rid of us and euthanize us. And the elderly, when they get older, the immune system starts to kind of egress. So they're more subjected to getting, get sick, catch different types of diseases, because as you get older, it starts weakening a little bit. So in order to help them, to save them their lives, they were offered the vaccine first because they had to be over a certain age. So it makes common sense. You're trying to help our senior citizens, our elderly personnel. We're trying to help them out. We're trying to do good things for humanity. It's basically like the ship kind of things. Women and children first, then the men, and then the crew dies. That in theory. But then they have where essential personnel, if you're essential personnel, you're working to the COVID, the pandemic of 2020, and which is, I want to say, even going on now. Essential personnel were given the option to get the vaccine first because of their specification, their profession, whatever, which is good. Now, people were like, oh, no, they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to euthanize. Why in the world would governments be trying to euthanize their essential personnel, the ones that are actually getting and keeping the country going? They're the ones turning the gears, making things work, getting everything happening. And this goes to date to back to your medical professions, medical personnel, your police and your fires, your first responders, your military personnel. This also goes back dated to, your public works officials, your water, your sewage, your trash personnel. This goes to, like I said, the essential personnel, and some people believe that they're trying to get rid of people, and then they're allowing the essential personnel to get these vaccination shots first and prior to the majority of the rest of the, citizens. But you want them to get euthanized first. That doesn't make any sense. There's no ground to hold on that act. And that's people coming up with their own concocted story to justify a means, the reason why they don't want to get the shot. So they'll come up with some crazy what was it, like the movie Misery? Cock-a-baby, cock-a-doodle, thought process in order to just not want to get the vaccine. And we'll come up with an argument that serves no legitimate purpose, serves no legitimate reasoning, and no legitimate logic. But, they'll come back and they'll always say something like, well, I have the right to know what's going on. You know what? I would say you do, but if the goods weigh more than the bads, then I think you probably are wrong. And which has been proven that people have sometimes thought, and sometimes these anti-vaxxers, these people that don't want to get the vaccine, will go on so much to say as to, it doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. No, nowhere did any of these doctors and scientists ever say that you cannot get and you won't get COVID-19. You won't get the coronavirus if you get the vaccine. They never did say that. You are still subjected to getting the virus, the COVID virus, the coronavirus. Still subject to get it. But what it does is lessens your symptoms, lessens your total full effect of getting all the symptoms, everything from the virus. Meaning you have such a better odds and fighting chance to actually fight off the virus than if you didn't have the vaccine. It gives you that extra boom strength to fight off the virus. Because some people's makeup, some people's immune systems aren't as strong as the other ones. So sometimes some people might need an extra boost in order to fight off that infectious virus. It's the truth. Not everybody can be like Superman. All right, that's the proof. It's true. So people are doing good things, doing great things in order to help our society, help our people. All right. So, and it's gotten to the point where the government's then used every kind of ploy, every kind of tactic, every kind of trick. They've pretty much have thrown everything at the general public to get vaccinated, so that way we can get back to our normal way of living, our normal way of life, which is to just be out and about and do things and feel comfortable. And I mean, they've thrown everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, they have. I mean, they made it free. I mean, they've offered discounts on Shake Shack and fries with a combo if you get a burger. They've offered, I think, free football tickets, season tickets at some point in time. I mean, if you get vaccinated shot and you show that you got or something like that, they're like, oh, okay, we'll give you some free football tickets. I mean, I mean, they offering pizzas. I mean, I think the mayor of New York, one of the two. I mean, he was eating pizza. You say, that man, he's okay in my book, because I'm looking at him and I'm looking at that pizza, and that pizza looking good. It's that pizza that when you get back from the club, the bar, that's the type of food you want. It's greasy, fat, not even healthy, but it's good food. Straight up good food. So they have used every tactic, trick in their arsenal to get people to get vaccinated, so that people won't have to get to the point where we're at right now, where at this point in time, the government, the president, the vaccinated people are fed up with the unvaccinated people who are still trying to come up with some type of legitimate argument, are fighting against it. And it's now to the point where they're making things mandatory. They're making it mandatory. That guess what now? If you're not getting the vaccine, you can't show that you are being tested and have been tested, and your test results show negative for the COVID-19. They are restricting a hell of a lot of things for those that have not been vaccinated. And just let's put it just this way: if you're one of those people that says, "Well, I'll just keep getting tested every week or whatever," don't think that you're in the clear, because guess what? It's going to get to the point where you're going to get tired of getting tested, and guess what? That's another tactic they're going to use. They're just going to draw you out to the point where you're like, I'm tired of getting tested. I'm not. And they're you're going to tire you out by having you get tested over and over. And guess what? Where they're now getting people at is they're getting at people to get the vaccine, or it's going to affect your personal life. It's more or less not your personal life. It's going to affect your professional life. It's going to affect your work. Because now the government's going to put more and more leverage onto the employers and their policies within those companies, in those businesses, to tell their people, to tell their employees, get the vaccine. Because it has become to a point where employers are going to be like, look, man, I want to keep my business up and going. I want to keep it going really good, making money, because that's what we're all in it for. We're here to make some money. But, man, y'all got to get this goddamn shot, all right? Because if not, I got to look at you go, bruh. And that's what's going to end up happening. And some people have already said, you know what? Well, it's my right. I'm going to choose. And they're going to walk away. And they're going to just say, you know what? Screw it. They're just going to end up leaving because they're feeling. And this is where it comes with a lot of people are afraid to sometimes bite their pride. Here in this country, yes, you're an American. Yes, you have rights. And yes, you have the right to being free. But when you have clearly evidence to show that this vaccine is going to help in the event if you do catch this virus, and it's going to help you in the long run, so that you don't get the whole full-blown effects from this virus, what is the argument to say? You have no argument to justify when all of it is doing help you. What is it? Oh, it's not FDA approved. I told you, I said the FDA takes a ton of time to be approved for certain types of vaccines. And people say it's not going through clinical. It has gone through clinical trials. Do your research. It has gone through it. But people don't want to hear that. People want to hear only what they want to hear. They don't hear anything else from what other people have told and what they're telling. It's like, oh, that's not true. They always keep coming up with something, a question. If you notice, it's a repeating door. It's a revolving door. They always kind of keep it, but they never ask something that's relevant to what's at hand. They always have to ask a question because guess what? They don't know. And when they don't know and they don't like the answer to it because they're not getting their answer, then they automatically want to keep asking a question until eventually you get tired and then they're like, see, I told you so. Yeah. And no. But everything what's going on is being told, to those people to understand get the vaccine. But they'll keep continuously coming up with some type of just so that way they can continuously drag themselves out from doing it, because they don't want to listen. They don't want to go on the fact that, hey, and then they always say, well, this happens. If you guys watch TV, and I'm pretty sure everybody's watched television, and they look at pharmaceutical prescription drugs and different types of things, and you have people, oh, well, I'm going to smoke some weed. You'll smoke a plant. You'll smoke a plant, right? Which is, you can smoke weed if you want to. I don't care. You can smoke weed all you want, all day long. You can smoke weed. But you don't even know what's in that. They'd be like, oh, well, it's easy. It's THC, right? Yeah. But it's mixture with some other stuff. It's just not just the plant. Because then that means you could go grab some grass from your front lawn. Put it in a little wet. Roll it up and smoke it. And guess what? See what happens. I don't know. But I'm just saying, that's the same thing. You're willing to go and say, oh, you can smoke weed. You can smoke this joint over there. But at the same time, you're not willing to do something to save your life, to save another person's life. Gotta wonder where some of the thought process is coming from. Somewhere some people are thinking. So, but it looks in here. I'm going to read a little bit here. Biden's new tougher tone on vaccine mandates triggered GOP blast. Oh yeah, people are pissed. At least 19 Republican governors have lashed back at Biden's promise to use OSHA to pressure employers with more than 100 employees to mandate COVID-19 vaccine or have workers submit to weekly testing. That's what I was just saying. The Republican governors call the mandate an overreach that will force Americans to choose between their job and the vaccine. This is what I just said, right? It's going to to your job and your employers. Governors going against the president and companies going against things. Howard Stern. CNN had reported Howard Stern to anti-vaxxers. They had titled this article, said, you had the cure and you wouldn't take it. Stern said people who won't get vaccinated are idiots and called for vaccinations to be mandatory. It's getting to that point, ladies and gentlemen, where people are getting tired and getting fed up. Hell, you got celebrity status. People are kind of at ends with this, and they want to be done with this, and they want to go on to something else. They don't want to be, okay, we're back to square one again. They want to move on. They want to do other stuff. It's just, when are we gonna stop putting up with these idiots in this country and just say it's mandatory to get vaccinated? F them freedom. I want my freedom to live. That's what quoted by Howard Stern. So Howard Stern is obviously a radio personality. He has a long history of doing his radio show. I listen to it's funny stuff, great stuff he has, great topics that he discusses. But yeah, it's wearing on him. It's definitely wearing on him and wearing on a lot of people. Because all majority of people want to do is just help and move on from this era where if you're not even sure if you go into the local store whether you got to wear your mask or not, because some places now these days still they went back from, oh no, we're done, you don't wear a mask, but now they're putting up policies regardless of whether or not you've been vaccinated or not, you need to wear a mask. And it's like, I thought we were done with this. Now why are we going back to wearing the mask? Were we just done with this? And this is because people aren't getting vaccinated. I mean, they're coming out with, apparently they're saying about 140,000 cases a day are reported of people who apparently are reported to have COVID-19. I mean, this is a simple thing. You have the cure. I'm not gonna say it's a cure. It's not a cure to get rid of it. But what you do is you have something that can help lessen the severity of actually getting the whole full blown thing. Just like the flu shot. The flu shot doesn't mean you're not gonna get the flu. What all it means is it's gonna help you not get the whole full brunt of the flu. Because if anyone who's had the flu, you would know you are down and out for the count. You was sitting there like, you don't want to get up. You don't even want to move because it's got you stricken down. Your body aches. You're so tired. You don't feel like doing anything. I mean, people still fighting against getting the flu shot. I mean, because it's like, I don't want to get sick from it. You're not going to get sick from it. It's there to help you. It gives you a layer of protection. Protection. Say it together. Let's say it together. Protection. It gives you a layer of protection. Or maybe let me see it tried in my former President Obama. You see, you need to go ahead and get the vaccine because it gives you a layer of protection. And it's needed for us to continue our daily life. I think that was a little bad impersonation of Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama. Maybe I could do a better one. Maybe I could do one with, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. I gotta get wrapped. I got prepped for this one. So basically, I don't understand why not many people want to get the COVID-19 vaccination shot. I think it's idiotic for them not to get it. I mean, it's going to do nothing but better for you, and it's going to help save lives. And for those of you that think that you don't have to get this, you're just going to harm somebody else. You're just hurting because you're lessening us to get back to our way of life. I mean, honestly, think about it right now. What are you doing you need to get your little puny weakling body into the gym and start pumping iron and get the vaccination shot. It's going to put hair on your ass. I mean, honestly, or I could go to, let's see, the good old, the kind of the mafia kind of talk, I forget about it. Look here, what I'm saying? I'm so tired of so many people not wanting to get this COVID-19 vaccination shot, you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to tell you right now that you need to go ahead and get this vaccine. All right? Because what you're doing, and I'm going to tell you, God forbid, you don't get the COVID-19 vaccination shot. Look, we're going to go to you. We're going to meet up with you. We're going to go take a ride. All right? You're going to go take a ride with us. And we're going to make you want to take the vaccine shot. Because if you're done spending some time with us, you're going to say, I swear to God, I need to go take the vaccine. I need to get it right now. I need to go find an all-night pharmacy that goes ahead and allows me to get the COVID-19 vaccination shot because I need to get it because Jimmy Cipollino over here says he's going to break my legs. All right? And guess what? You can forget about it, all right? I'm going to go ahead and get it right now because you can forget it because just a slice of pizza or some free Sheik and fries and burgers, you can forget about it. Maybe that's my little I guess mobster kind of voice, I guess, whatever. I don't know. So, but I got to take a break real quick. I'm going to go get something to drink as always. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to learn and listen to some more. And then we're going to get on to some other topics. And I want to talk about this as time's dwindling down. So stick with us. Be right back. I'm going to go get something to drink. All right. And we'll be right back. Forget about it. You know what I mean? Back here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Your host, Brent. I just took a little break, got me something to drink. Oh, yeah. You're listening live here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show, here on this Friday night. And you're listening to Raindrops by Freddie, Joachim. Yes. Yep, listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Make sure you can follow us on our social media platforms and my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can follow me also on my YouTube channel, the Coolly Cool Show, or follow me on my TikTok channel, the Coolly Cool Show. Or you can follow me on my Instagram, Brent the Champ. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Also, if you have a question, or you want to talk about a specific topic that I don't even know about, or that we do know about, or you just want to talk about something generally crazy, I don't know. You can also shoot me an email. Yes, I'm going with the email route. I know how crazy this is, but I'm going to go with the email route. I just don't want a ton of emails because there's a ton of them come. Then I typically can't answer all of them. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be well overwhelming, so to speak. You know, but if you have a certain question or anything that you want to talk about, we can also talk about on my, send me an email. It's at coollycool1212@gmail.com. So, all right, let's get back at it. So, we were talking about vaccination shots. Let's move on to something else and talk about something crazier. So, asteroids. Yes, we're back with the asteroid talk. If you notice, I always talk about asteroids and some crazy other nonsense. So apparently, let's see, was it CNET says that they detected and found a truck-sized asteroid whiz by our planet early Wednesday. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Yep, just long, apparently, you know, like I said, supposed to have a huge asteroid coming 2160 to 2170, and they need rockets. They're going to send up sometime in November, about 50 to 70 of them, just to send up there, and hopefully they'll get there by the time, divert it off its course. But, hey, I'm just saying. It's the plan that's in the works. It's in the works. But guess what? Before we can do this, we're going to need your money. That's what they're saying. They're going to need funding for this. But, at a point in time, we're going to need funding. Let's get the funding for it. We're going to be like, hold on, we need to cover the cost for something else. When's this going to happen? It's supposed to happen then. And they'd be like, sir, are you drinking? No, I've been not drinking. I've been thinking. But I haven't been drinking. I've been thinking. Oh, well, sir, I don't know if you've been thinking because your thinking's kind of off. You shut the hell up. That's what I kind of hear. And like I said, we haven't heard anything much about aliens lately. I'm supposed maybe towards the end of this year we're going to probably hear something about aliens, or we're going to have another alien buzz. It seems like the alien talk has completely died off or went off the table. I know probably Area 51 and the whole thing. They're probably like, good. Finally, they stop talking about us. They keep their mouth shut. No one needs to know. They're sitting there twiddling their fingers and hands and twitching their mustaches. Probably like, maybe that's the whole sinister mode to it all, is just to get people's diverted attentions away from what they're really doing. And what they're really doing, and this is the secret, I'm going to let you guys in on it. This is the true and utter secret right here of what they're really doing over there in those secret, top secret bases. Those secret, top facilities. You want to know? Here, you ready? They're building the greatest ham sandwich. That's right. They're going to add cheese on it. That's what they're doing. Aliens need to eat too. All right. So you tell them. All right. You tell whoever you need to tell. But I just told you because you heard it here live on the goddamn coolest of that goddamn coolly cool show. So yeah. That's other news. I just don't understand why we haven't heard much buzz about alien talk. I mean, it was so prevalent. It was so prone. And then we don't hear. I know many people probably do believe in aliens, and I'm one that just think that there are other life forms other than here. But damn, it's gone ghost. Like literally, they've gone ghost. You haven't heard anything from them. I don't know. I guess they're like, well, we finally fucking got rid of that kind of, chatter, and we're talking about something else. You notice everything goes in typically in cycles and kind of stages, so that way kind of divert your attention to something else. I mean, I guess that's just a way to kind of fool people, I guess. But it's not like they don't fool us, but they just make us drool for what's coming next. So that way we can kind of keep our eyes abreast of the situation and be like, oh, I want to know what's going on, man. Tell me. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But, it's just different, I guess. So, with that song, Under Your Spell by Desire, that comes to as I close to our show here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show, on this Friday night. I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you, all my listeners that listen to my podcast, and that you follow us, and that you like and subscribe. I just want to appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are very special. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't do this, but I probably would, because I just like doing this. But make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. You can follow us on my TikTok channel, The Coolly Cool Show. You can follow me on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is The Coolly Cool Show. Automatically, my videos and podcasts are automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my Twitter account, which is CoollyCool2412. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Brent the Champ. And just to let everybody know, I hope we made it easy for everybody to follow us from coast to coast, to north to south, and even in Antarctica. So, just like to say, thank you to each and every one of you for listening to us. Let's keep it going. Spread the word. Spread the word that you're listening on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. So, love you guys, and I'll see you. Be safe. You're here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Your host, Brent.
Do you know
Bye.
the difference between love and obsession? No. And what's the difference between obsession and desire? I don't know. Do you think